Good morning. So it was supposed to be another sunny day today. Well, that didn't happen. At least it's not low, freezing cold, wet fog. So this morning I went to Home Depot and I went to a couple. There's 3 towns close to where I live, and they all have a Home Depot within 20 minutes away, and they did not have what I was looking for. I was looking for cedar tongue and groove, and they didn't have it, or shiplap. They didn't have that. It was all 1 inch thick, and I was looking for a 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch at the max. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm using my new pointer. Don't see my hands. I'm using my new pointer, but I'm going to put 1/2 inch plywood slats over each one of these ribs here, and that way I can mount what I'm going to use. So at Home Depot, they had in the garden area, and I used this on the tiny house I brought to Montana that I built. I used this for the trim around the doors, and I used the smaller stuff for the trim in all the corners because I used plywood on all the walls just to make it tougher. So this is 1/4 inch by 4 inch by 8 feet long, just bend-to-bore slats. And there's a lot of different colors in there, so I think it's going to look all right. We'll see. I tried to find it with no knots and no cracks, but now I'm going to sand it all out and get it cleaned up. I might get my table saw and run them all through just to make sure that they're all equal in width. That way it'll make it easier when I do the ceiling, because I'm going to stagger on some of the joints because my van is 9'6" long, where the ribs start and finish, and these are 8-footers. So we'll see what happens. Just a little sanding now. Right here, I'm getting it sanded down, trying to sand the edges. I'm still going to cut it on the table saw, but I don't want the real rough side down. Well, enough of the sanding. It's almost as boring as watching paint dry. I got all the boards sanded, one side and both edges. It's really, really rough on one side, and I sanded them out. Some of these boards are pretty wet, so these were outside at Home Depot out in the garden area, so some of them are wet. So I'm hoping they won't shrink up much, but the widths right here, the widths are all a tiny bit different. So it's going to be hard matching them up because I'm going to have to stagger it on the ceiling. So I might run these through the table saw and get them all about the same. I'll find the smallest one and then try and match them all up and get them close. And also I noticed is this one's not too bad, but one side's thicker than the other. So I'll have to figure that out. I think I'm going to put the thicker side from the center and then thin, thick, thin, thick, thin, all the way down. So we'll figure that one out. Time to install the sink to the one counter, and then maybe I'll get that attached to the cabinet. It doesn't look like it's too hard. It's got a clip and these little pins, and that goes up through the clip, and then you tighten the pins, and this that tightens these down. So cool. It doesn't get any easier than that. Amazing. So there's 2 little teeth right there, and you screw this, it pulls up on this little lip right here, and it just locks it in place. This is cool. It worked out very well. All right. So I'm happy with that. Perfect. I'm happy. It's the little things. So this is installed, that's installed, and this is installed. And tomorrow, if I have time, I'm going to hook up my lithium battery and all the doodads that go to it. The solar, I'll flip that up and be done with that. And then figure out the countertop. So hip, hip, hooray. It is all hooked up, all the wires. So the solar's working. The fuse block is working, and these lights are hooked up. I've got one wire that I need to connect to a key-on under the dash, but I have the battery disconnected. I've got that right there is a Life Pro. It's for a lithium battery charger, so when I'm hooked up to shore power. And I've got one hole I need to drill out in the back of the van when I get ready to hook up my diesel heater. But other than that, golden. I mean, a couple little wires I need to hook up, but I need to finish the ceiling. And I do have to drill one hole right there to find, so I can put the plug from the freezer, the ice chest, that'll go through there, that I can either go to 12 volt or 110. So good day. I'm glad. So I need to drill a hole and then mount the top, and I can call it macaroni. I got the hole drilled for the wiring for the ice chest, and I ended up getting the poles and the mounts for the table. That's just sitting there. It'll tip over. But I'm stoked. That's cool. I got to figure out how to mount it to the floor. I'll figure it out, but that's cool. I'm happy. Getting there. All right, let's figure this one out. Today's project was getting the roof or ceiling all insulated. I did not do the front yet. I think I'm going to cut the piece out, get it in place, and see how much room I have, and maybe glue the insulation to the panel that I'm sliding in, because that glue, no matter how much you cover it up, that crap gets everywhere. I got some on my tinted windows. That pissed me off because I can't get it off. There's smudges. And then my buddy came over, and I had an error code, and I thought it was my charging was on. It was red flashing. I thought it was because it was charging, but nope, I had an error code, and I mixed up two of the wires coming from the solar panel. So my positive was negative and negative was positive. So I need to change the shrink tape on that so I know what the heck I'm doing and remember it. But anyways, now I got to cut the strips that need to go here. Get that up, and then I'm going to start putting up the little wood slats. Slats are installed. I had to cut some grooves in there to get them to bend. Hopefully my boards don't land on those bends. Hopefully they don't land in the middle. Well, if they do, I don't know what I'll do. I'll figure it out though. So that's not too shabby. What I'm going to do is, these are framing screws, metal stud framing screws. I'm going to take each one out, and I've got a countersink bit. There you go, see if you can see that. A countersink bit. I'm gonna do that in each one so it puts it down a little bit below the surface so I don't have any teeter-totter problems with the wood that I put in next. I saved the old headliner, and now I've just traced it out and getting ready to cut that out. So once that's done, I'm hoping I have enough room on here to do at least 2 door panels. And then I've got the door skin for the sliding door and then the 2 front doors. So I'm hoping I can get it with 2 sheets. Well, I got it cut out and sanded. Not too bad. It's a tiny bit thicker than what was there. So I'm hoping it will fit up in that little groove in the front by the windshield. So we'll see. Here we go. Okay, I got it in place. That was tough. I had to take it out 4 times and trim off about 1/4 inch each time to make it work. And what the problem was is the original stuff is this, and it's cardboard. You can look at that, it's paper. So it was hanging down low and it sucked. And this is what I put in there, and it's about a 1/16, maybe a little bit more thicker. So that was a pain in the arse. Anyways, it's in. I do not think I'm going to stain it or anything, just leave it raw, because I'm planning on leaving the redwood raw up here. So I'm going to screw it in place and see what it looks like, because I still have to figure out some kind of possible trim going across once I get it in place, but we will see. It's in. Wow, that kicked my butt. Fun stuff. Well, I got about 1/3 of it done, and my shoulders are done for the day. I'll have to finish it up tomorrow. I'm happy with it. It's not perfect, but it's okay. 10 feet away, perfect. This is how far I got today. So I got the rest of my planks up, my boards, bender board, and I need to get 5 more. So I think I'm going to get 6 or 7 just to make sure that I have enough. Ended up putting these 2 lights up. You can see there's one there and one way up there, which is really cool. They work. I blew a fuse because I arced them in my hand, but I got that fixed. So going to Home Depot, get some more boards, and then my buddy Michael, he lives down the street, is getting the exact same size shop that I'm getting. We both are going through the same company, the same concrete guy and everything, and he filled out all the permitting. And he came over and helped my wife because she's good on the computer and I'm not. But he helped her get that all figured out. And so we submitted the application for the permit, and hopefully that'll go quick. So time to go to Home Depot. I got them all sanded out again. Now I'm going to cut them down to the smallest size, whatever they measure out to be, whatever one of these measures out to be, the smallest. And that way they're all equal. Okay, I got it whipped. That was a pain. Just the boards are they're 1/4 inch, so they're kind of flimsy. Once they're up, they're stable, but picking them up, they just weeble wobble all around. But now I'm waiting for the pads to be done so I can finish this up. Then I need to mount the table. I have to drop the tank so I can get underneath, and because the gas tank's right underneath it. I also have to take it out anyways because the fuel pump's not working very good. But that's whipped. The 2 lights are in, the 12-volt power supply right there. It's like a cigarette lighter. That is for the TV. And then I'm going to build a cabinet there, a small one. And I'm going to build another cabinet here, about a 5-footer. That way I've got storage come out about 12 inches. So that's a wrap on this video. Not trying to make them too long, but I still have to do the door skins and stuff like that. But it's getting there, slowly but ever so slowly. All right, we'll talk to you guys soon.